Welcome back to the Telstra Dome for Richmond and Sydney, and there are some very excited fans here, probably more Richmond fans than Sydney fans, but they are all looking forward to a big game. Richmond fans would be very happy to see Matthew Richardson out in the ground moving well. There was some concern last night. He pulled up sore during training with a tight right quad muscle. He seems to be moving fine in the warm-up. I've been watching him, so he shouldn't be a problem, and Richmond fans, as I said, very happy to see that. It is cold in Melbourne, but it's not an issue with the roof closed here at the Telstra Dome. Although, as Stephen Silvani said in the opener, they did have the roof open a little earlier when it was raining, and it has made the ground quite slippery. Both teams wearing appropriate footwear, and I would see that the ground will dry out pretty quickly.
Thanks, Christy. And there's the matchup. Lewis Roberts-Thompson on Matthew Richardson. It's been a pretty good touch. Did a good job on Jonathan Brown last week, Steve.
Well, he just seems to be getting the bigger jobs now. Obviously, a young defender that the Swans are grooming to take these so-called superstars.
And there's Luke McGuan. He's got the job, as we suspected, at fullback on Michael O'Loughlin. What a task, playing game number one up against one of the champions, Michael O'Loughlin. Well, both sides 3-3, and a crucial game for both clubs. We're underway. One down by Jolly. Chance for Patrick Bowden, and it's tied up. Richards tying it up successfully on Hartigan in the centre of the ground.
Joel Bowden has a big job on Barry Hall. Has done the job on him in the past.
Jolly wins it wide of the plate. Reigns, outstanding form in the last couple of weeks. Simmons concedes ground back to Newman. Chris Newman now. He's got time to assess his options. Kick long towards half forward. Richardson and Lewis Roberts-Thompson in it already. Richardson wins the race back. Well played. Little left foot kick. Makes some ground, but not significantly enough. And Williams shovels the handball through to Roberts-Thompson, and Kirk relieves the pressure. Mark taken by Davis at half-back for the Swans.
And Kennelly, who's picked up Delidio, and he embarks on one of those famous runs. But gee, the run after the bounce was a long one, and he has another go courtesy of Buchanan. He might kick the first. Oh, Ty, can you finish it? Not quite. In fact, he's missed everything. He was in full flight, and isn't he a sight when he is?
Well, he is, and a player that didn't play in their first 2 or 3 games for the Swan has made a massive difference to this Swans outfit.
So Swans pressing at the locket end. You'd fancy they'd kick plenty of goals up there, and Jolly might. He'll lob it in the O'Loughlin direction, and he got rid of young McGuan pretty comfortably, but the best that can be said for the Tiger is he's got him on the impossible angle. What does he do? Does he bend one back? That's what he's after. They don't call him magic for nothing.
Well, Michael O'Loughlin kicking the first goal of the game. Gee, it's a big job first up, isn't it, to come into a team and play on, well, a mercurial type player.
Oh, massive job, and obviously the first game is going to be a little bit nervous, McGuan, but look, as long as his teammates get around him and support him, all he can do is his best.
So first blood to the Swans. And I must confess that Richmond defence does look a little undermanned with the late withdrawals of Kellaway and Ray Hall, certainly lacking some height, and some big jobs for both Joel Bowden, who's been in sparkling form. He'll play on Barry Hall, and as we've said, McGuan with the job on O'Loughlin. So a perfect bounce. One down by Jolly again. Chance for Jude Bolton. Scrambles a kick forward towards half forward, over the head of O'Keefe. Newman couldn't quite gather the loose footy. O'Keefe can, well played. He's got options outside. One of them, Richards. Clever kick around the body. Goods at the back. Couldn't quite hold on. Chance for Davis. Oh, he doesn't miss these, Davis. Kicks to Swan second. So a wonderful kick and wonderful goal from Nick Davis, and an ominous start for the Swans.
Well, it is, and we just see the work here by O'Keefe. Newman going to him, but this square-up kick, Goods probably should have taken. Coughlin's actually going with Goods at the minute, but Davis always dangerous around goals and slots the Swans second through.
Early worries for the Tigers. In fact, a decidedly worrying first couple of minutes. Sydney kicking 2 easy goals and winning the ball away pretty comfortably. A good tackle by Hyde on Crouch, but there's a Sydney free kick, and it's Jude Bolton. It is all the Swans.
And 50, I think, Tim.
Oh, well, this will give him a shot at goal. So Jude Bolton to come way up the ground. It's a healthy 50. Scott Jeffries dished out. Let's have a look. Yes, tackled after he got rid of the ball. And then a secondary infringement produced a 50. And Bolton should kick Sydney's third. And we haven't had 2 minutes of actual playing time yet. Sorry, we've had just over 2. And they have 3 goals. The reigning premiers have made a flying start.
Well, here's the free kick on Bolton. Not much in it, Steve, really.
No, there's not much in it, but look, this is a great start for the Swans. Obviously, they'd know that Richmond lost a couple of key players in Callaway and also Ray Hall, and this will put some doubts in the Richmond youngsters' minds.
Well, some early concerns for Terry Wallace. 3 goals to the Swans. It's taken them just 6 possessions to kick those 3 goals. Quite remarkable. Back in the centre, Jolly decisively. Jude Bolton again. Well done by Tutt, getting his body over the football. Will he be penalised? No, the umpire lets it go in the hope that it jars free, but it doesn't. So another bounce.
Here's the 50, Chris O, with Andrew Rains, the offender.
Yeah, well, that's just not good play by Rains.
Jolly again, doing well early. Little soccer forward was nullified by Cracker. Ablett now another Swans free kick here. And it's coming to Ablett. Handball out wide. Kirk had to wait for it. Chips it short. O'Loughlin on the lead. Marked strongly on his chest. Thought about going for a fleeting moment. Decided against it. And the way they're dominating out of the centre isn't helping the defence, which is, as we've said, a little undermanned. Lead on from Barry Hall, and Hall, strong hands. And Barry Hall, one of 3 captains for Sydney this year. Brent Kirk tossed the coin this afternoon that he sharing the duties with Kirk and also Leo Barry. But chance here, kicked 14-6 from set shots so far in season 2006. Barry Hall from 45 metres brings it back and kicks it. Well, what a start for the Swans. 4 goals straight. And I've counted 9 possessions, which is just quite remarkable.
And this is the Swans forward line, and just have a look at some of the matchup. Newman O'Keefe was a super matchup. The concern is McGuan on O'Loughlin, and of course Joel Banton has a big job on Barry Hall.
The other concerns, Sauce, is that Richmond just aren't getting the football. And if the ball finishes up inside that 50, time and time again, Sydney are going to kick a big score. And
particularly with the number of Richmond youngsters in their back half, they're under enormous pressure at the minute.
Swans have never kicked a really big score here. 21-8, 134 in their first game here back in 2000 is their best. Holding the ball. Cracker takes the free kick and the Tigers have a crack at it. A big talk. Well done by Craig Bolton, sweeping it away. But Richmond have it at the end of the ground where at least they can start to climb back. Yeah. Look at that number, 19-5 disposals. Not a Richmond mark so far. Simmons and Jolly, Cracker there again. Coughlin's at the base of it all. Been some ugly packs already.
Yeah, Tim, the problem is, from a Richmond point of view, when the ball's going inside your back 50 so often, you just don't get any run from your defenders. They start playing for survival.
Clean knock by Simmons, but straight to Buchanan. Luke Ablett, well tackled. It was Oakley Nichols sweeping it out. Crouch has it covered. He'll have nowhere to go. That is met hard by Richardson. And that's done a little bit of damage. Jared Crouch is in some bother in another game uninterrupted by injury. or maintaining his succession, but Richardson doing his best to perhaps have an impact on that.
And that's what they needed, the Tigers. They needed one of their senior players to make a mark. And, OK, he didn't get the footy, but he made the contest, and that's what they need at the minute.
189 games, Jared Crouch in succession. Ball to the front, chance for Goods. Can't control it. Crouch back up and at them. Well done. Craig Bolton, handball, wild one. Gives the Tigers a chance. Great pick up from Richardson. He's fired up, the Tiger. Coghlan now. Davis couldn't hold on. He's got support out wide. Hyde from outside 50. A driving kick to the goal square is through. The Tigers have won. Gee, an understatement to say they needed that, but good fight, particularly Matthew Richardson really showing the way.
Well, it's amazing what an attack on a ball on a body can do, and we just see Richardson here. He did a previous effort beforehand with the Crouch incident, but he gave him a bit of spark, and we just see the Tigers finish off very well.
Chris Hyde squeezing it home, has a good long left foot. Chris Hyde kicking the Tigers first, but Matthew Richardson inspiring them to it with a strong, fair hip and shoulder on Jared Crouch, and then a great attack on the ball, taking it away from goal, but eventually leading to Richmond's first. Can they string a couple together? Not immediately. Kirk to Goods. Crouch, indomitable. Goods again. Good option. Buchanan runs onto his wrong side, and as a result just skids it, but finds O'Keefe, and that's his right side, but he's well subdued. Bowden to his brother, Joel and Patrick. Newman, does he beat off Richards? No, he doesn't. He got casual. And it's a free kick to Richards.
And you're spot on, Tim. He was casual. You can't be casual when you've been under so much pressure in the first 5 minutes of this game.
I think he felt he had him done when he wrong-footed him, but then he eased off, didn't he? Richards' kick puts it into the hot spot to Hall. Just jolted away by Joel Bowden. Schneider at the front end of the ground. Tied up, ball up.
Yeah, he did that well, Schneider. Had he fallen over the ball, a possible free kick, he kept his feet and allowed the Richmond player just to hold up the ball and tackle him.
Swans big chance here. Jolly down to Richards. Richards left the ball behind. Rains delayed the handball. Poor stuff. Goal to Schneider.
Free kick, looks like.
It's a free kick indeed. It's coming back to the Tigers. So it'll come back to Rains. Now let's have a look at this. Yeah, dragged down perhaps unfairly after you got rid of the ball initially. So the free kick comes to Tuck. Now the loose player at half-back, McGuan, in for his first possession in AFL football. Wanders off, drives it low and hard. Wasn't a great kick towards Hardigan. He controls it pretty well at ground level. Tried to crash through Buchanan, couldn't. Finds himself in trouble here. O'Loughlin numbers with the Swans. Although Hyde emerges. Well played, Chris Hyde. He's got Richardson short. That's the way that kick goes. He couldn't quite hold on. In fact, it was Cleve Hughes, and Goods relieves the pressure. Craig Bolton kicks it short. It's OK. Mark taken by O'Loughlin at half-back for the Swans.
Swans getting bigger numbers to the ball, and it's showing. O'Loughlin, one of the 4 goal kickers, to Jolly, who's been on top in the ruck early. As the Swans, in their customary manner, set about slowly building up, and it is going to be a slow one as they go into reverse. Craig Bolton, Tiger fans start to give a low rumble of discontent. Roberts Thompson with the big task on Richardson. That puts Barry under the pump. Got rid of Pettifer quite comfortably. Crouch again. He equals Andy Collins today at 189 consecutive games. Hall to Buchanan to Fosdyke. And still the Swans are building up. Taking about 8 disposals to progress 30 metres here. Goods doing the roving. It's a little slippery, and it brought him undone there.
We just saw the difficulty the Swans had to get that ball inside their forward 50. It was the reason behind it was Richmond just got all their players behind the ball, so the flood was happening.
Jolly and Simmons. Simmons wins it down. Chance though for Ablett. Good sleek handball. Fosdyke kicks it to the top of the goal square. Well done by McGuan. He got in front. and earned himself a free kick. No, boundary throw-in.
And I just think that when you get players, the opposition get players behind the ball, it's so important that you get a stoppage inside your forward 50. You can actually set something up, and this is where set plays come into count.
Jolly, Deledio left the footy behind. He's over it, needs to get it out and does. Well done by the Tigers. They wrench it free. Rains, his handball went behind Bowden. Chance for Richards going into mop-up Tambling. Well played, Coughlin. And the Tigers emerge from defence. Almost the mark to Pettifer, not paid. But Foley followed the ball up. Well done. He got it on towards Tambling. He was taken high. Free kick, Richmond. So good run there from defence by the Tigers. Hardigan kicks towards half-forward. Barry getting across. Richardson's got to beat a couple here. And the Swans defenders happy to see it over. Boundary throw in the Richmond right forward pocket. Matthew Richardson not happy about something. But the Swans lead by 18 points. The Tigers in the goal-scoring part of the ground.
Tigers just surviving a couple of Swans attacks recently. They are hanging in by a thread. Kirk to Luke Ablett. Williams, the 300-gamer. Kennelly had it knocked out of his hands by Dean Polo, producing a bit of last week's magic. And the Tigers turn to hold it inside their 50. If they could kick the next one, they might feel that after a horrendous start, they've actually just about got back. Jolly down to Kirk. Swans clear. Newman beats O'Keefe well. Just edged him under the ball, and then with one grab controlled it. Took it at the second. Deledio, Simmons. Jolly bringing him down. No free kick. Richardson has been good. Just couldn't get enough swivel. And it's a behind.
Craig Bolton at fullback. Searching kick, and well marked by O'Loughlin low down. So a long way from home. Lined up at full forward this afternoon, Michael O'Loughlin. Long lead by Richards. That's on it. So the Swans have it on the wing. Ted Richards. Oh, wobbly old kick. It's okay. Dropping short mark taken by Hall. Good overlap. O'Keefe, 55 from goal. He chips it up. One-on-one battle here. Well done by Hardigan. Knocked it away from Schneider. Schneider's got to beat three. Now O'Keefe arrives to provide assistance. He does it brilliantly. Fosdyke hard up against the line. Kicks it back. Kirk will mark. Yes, he's marked it. Gee, it almost slipped from his grasp as he tried to, I almost thought Steve to play on, but he was able to pull himself up, hold the ball in, and will kick from just 10 metres.
Already at 8 the spot. How's the pick up by O'Keefe here? Under pressure, clean hands, sets up the goal.
And Brett Kirk just, well, they've kicked for the Swans. Shouldn't miss from here. Comes in and pops it through. The Swans have 5. Brett Kirk, last year's best and fairest winner, not quite up to the possession count of last year in the early rounds, but still a valuable player for this for the premiership outfit.
Well, he is, and got off to a fantastic start, but you can't go against clean hands there. The effort by O'Keefe was outstanding, and Brett Kirk obviously finishes it off.
Brett Kirk, 9 disposals, 4 clearances, 1 goal. As so often in the past has been the motivator for Sydney. Foley caught over the ball here. Couldn't possibly be penalised. So another ball up. Now there's an interesting matchup. The 300-gamer has been picked up by the second gamer, Dean Polo, who was chosen best of field on debut last week. So what a feather in his cap. Here's Williams. He's got to stop him now. He's well and truly stopped by 3 or 4 of them in a gang. But Richmond have catching up to do. Sydney have jumped them. They've had twice as many disposals, and they've really blitzed the Tigers early. There's just so much more authority about their attack on the ball and their use of it. Jude Bolton, nowhere to go in there. Clever O'Keefe to Schneider. Delayed, did it well. Crouch, though, has to pursue it. Clever, all about team for Sydney. They did discuss this a few weeks ago, and they seem to have got their old team ethic back. This is Fosdyke, one of their grand final heroes. He goes to O'Loughlin. McGuan given a reprieve there as the pass wasn't pinpoint. and there'll be a throw in. But all the pressure on the Richmond back half. And a first game at 19 years of age. What a day to walk into for Luke McGuan.
Stafford gets it to Tuck. Oh, well done by Kirk. A good tackle. Deledio applying the pressure, but the Swans wrested free. Craig Bolton. Schneider, quick snap out of the pack. Well offline. And out on the full free kick to Richmond. And Patrick Bowden, who has played most of the year up forward for the Tigers and done pretty well there. He's kicked 7 goals, 8 this season, but forced to go back with the late withdrawals of Ray Hall and also Andy Kellaway. Darren Gasper wasn't included in this side this afternoon. So the Tigers work it out of defence. Oh, gee, that's a poor kick from Deledio. And free kick to Roberts-Thompson, who has won the right to play on Matthew Richardson. Big job for him, but certainly emerged over the last 18 months as a quality key defender. Now the umpire's called play on, and he's out of bounds. So it'll be a throw in.
He came off the line, presumably,
and the field umpire basically was the one that made the adjudication and calling the boundary umpire up to say, hey, you better throw this in, and he does on centre wing. Missed opportunity there for the Swans. Malcheski, Buchanan links it brilliantly. Kennelly, he'll want to take them on here, and he does. Slips the handball through past Tambling to Crouch to Hall. Couldn't hold on. And a chance for Foley to mop up for the Tigers. Oh, gee, sets his teammate Oakley Nichols a real task there. He's able to grasp it, but he's well tackled by a couple. 3, in fact, and they tie it up. Bounce 55 from the Swans' goal.
Just at the minute, the Swans are able to use their hands.
Here's the play on, Sauce. Now he's gone to go sideways, then tried to change direction. He's now outside the line, so the ball is in play. And out of play, if you get the meaning.
Yep. Tough call, though.
Jared Oakley Nichols, second gamer, turning it over. Goods. Tambling with a flash of brilliance. That was good. And the Tigers have an open 50. Richardson and Roberts-Thompson, 2 tall athletes. Richo is clever. Tambling kept coming. Can he make something? He was held. He's got to take a free kick. He will. Now, is advantage applied or not? If it is, it's a Pettifer goal. It is. It's a goal to Kane Pettifer. The Tigers have their second. So here's how it unfolded.
Yeah, and Tambling was the one that actually got the ball inside their forward 50. He follows his kick up and made the contest here. He got the free kick. Obviously, advantage was paid. And Pettifer kicks an easy goal.
Good advantage call. Clearly, play was continuous.
So the Tigers with their second goal, and after 10 minutes without a goal, they've just consolidated things here. Tuck, Tivendale, penetrating kick towards Richardson. Well done by Roberts-Thompson. Got a fist in there. Richardson, oh, well played. He's playing above himself this afternoon. Off towards Foley, off a step towards full forward across the face. And a boundary throw-in.
He's looking like their leader, Crusoe.
He is indeed.
The great thing about him, he's following his effort up. There's not just the one effort that often he can do, but the second and third efforts have obviously improved for him this year.
Oh, superb stuff from Tuck, but the tackle from Kirk was brilliant. And he's brought him down. It looked as though for a moment that Tuck was going to run into an open goal. Look at this, he just took it out third man, but Kirk was equal to the task. And great stuff from Brett Kirk. His kick to Roberts-Thompson was a little dangerous, and looks like Oakley Nichols has come off second best there as he crashed into the Swans centre halfback. Buchanan, Malcheski. Fosdyke's been busy early. Kicks it low and hard. Okay, mark taken by O'Keefe. Kick and a half from goal. Hall wants it. He's running into the pocket. Barry Hall, great kick from O'Keefe. Brilliantly weighted. His opponent, Bowden, was just 3 or 4 metres in front of Hall, but the kick from O'Keefe was outstanding, and Hall was able to mark comfortably. Kicks back to Malcheski, who marks 45 from goal, but the angle, much better. Matthew Richardson, 5 disposals, And interestingly enough, he hasn't taken a mark yet, so he's gained all his possessions at ground level.
Well, they're able to find their targets inside their forward 50 at the minute, the Swans. They've taken 6 to Richmond 1.
Malcheski, emergency for last year's premiership side, so just missed out on the glory. But from just inside 50, drop punt is absolutely gun barrel straight. The Swans have goal number 6. So Nick Malcheski with his first goal of the afternoon, and they worked it pretty well.
Well, they did. It all started from the Brett Kirk tackle from the throw-in, and they worked it up. And Barry Hall, very unselfish here, looks inside. Finds Malcheski, who kicks this goal from 50 out.
Swans kick their 6th and lead by 23. Tough day at the office in store for Richmond. Stafford winning the ruck contest. Tuck may have been held. Gives Foley a shot at it. Well played by McVeigh. Buried, and it's a push in the back. A lot of those are allowed to pass. They shouldn't be. That one was plucked. McVeigh's ball. Quarter well advanced. Richmond badly needing to kick a couple of goals on the trot to feel as though they're in touch, but they're not going to get one here. They might concede. Goods, Richards with the set. He's got it. And the open goal as Richmond's defence is in tatters. That was a very bad sign.
It was just far too easy. I see Stafford's trying to drop back to help his fellow defenders out, but what's happening is Jolly's actually going inside the Swans forward 50 as well, so he's drawing Stafford out of that hole, so they're able to spread their defenders at the minute, the Swans.
And let's have a look at what's happening in midfield, Sauce, because inevitably it's where it starts, and the Swans are winning more than their fair share.
And Brett Kirk's been instrumental. He's had a huge quarter, 10 possessions this quarter.
Adam Goods, very effective too.
Some real concerns for the Tigers. 7 goals straight. This is the Swans' biggest ever opening quarter at the Telstra Dome. Quite remarkable. Certainly the biggest first quarter this year as well. Kirk's scrambling kick taken by Hartigan. Foley getting involved and gives it to Hyde, who chips to Jackson. Came in as a late replacement for Ray Hall. Handball to Tuck. Just corralled by Jude Bolton, but he was able to cleverly get the kick away, and the mark's taken by Simmons just inside attacking 50, but very wide, right on the boundary line. There's Matthew Richardson. Troy Simmons coming in for just his 2nd disposal.
He's a good kick, but he's on the wrong side, isn't he, for a left footer?
Gee, to take a great effort from here. Right on 50, hard up against the boundary line. Gee, it's a pretty good kick. Oh, he's kicked a miraculous goal. Well, they're just hanging in there, the Tigers. That's their 3rd. Simmons' first goal, and the margin back to 23 points.
Well, it is, and just a nice little build-up. It's just so important that at least one of the Tigers' forwards actually tall forwards start taking marks inside their forward 50. And it's just good to see that Simmons has done it on this occasion.
Well, they're kicking them from spots you wouldn't believe. 10 goals, 1 kicked in this first quarter. Remember last Saturday night, 1 goal, 17 in a quarter. Tigers were involved in that. Here they go again, but Goods keeps it out of harm's way from Sydney's viewpoint. Forces a ball up.
I've been impressed, Steve, with Nathan Foley. 7 disposals. He's really shown some grit in the midfield.
He has, and another one of their youngsters, obviously played a handful of games.
Chambers on in the ruck now against Simmons. Kirk again getting the hard ball, getting it in motion for Bolton to give it back to him. And the Swans are pressing again. Richmond with numbers here. Needed clean hands from Newman. Hyde helps him out. Schneider, though, prizing it away for Sydney. Kirk, his confidence is back. He's playing superbly here. O'Loughlin out finessing McGuan, but the ball slipping away from him. Sydney by 23 points. They're winning virtually every statistic, and even though they've had more ball, they're still laying more tackles.
So a boundary thrown, Simmons wins it down into space. O'Loughlin paddling to his own advantage. Ball spills out, Tambling. Off to Tuck, and now the Tigers, for the moment at least, out of trouble. Kick towards Richardson. Roberts-Thompson, great fist in there. Polar, in fact, Coughlin, was he pushed in the back? No, the umpire calls for it. And
out of the goods.
Blood rule. So a slight delay here.
Very similar look to Lee Montagna last night in the St Kilda Geelong match. Gash on the face, nothing too serious, and he looks the least concerned person in the arena.
So what have you made of this first quarter, Steve, from the Swans?
Well, the fact is that they're dominating in every area. They're dominating it around the stoppages, the clearances. They're up 15-8. So if Richmond want to get back into the game, they've got to start wearing their share around the stoppages.
Brett Kirk, 13 disposals, 5 clearances, 4 tackles. It's been a blistering opening quarter. Jolly wins it down. Well done, Buchanan, who's been busy as well, just able to slip the kick through the congestion and find Richards on attacking 50.
And once again, a clearance from a stoppage by the Swans.
Richards kicks to Hall, and Hall, no, well done by Bowden, put enough pressure on. And the ball close to the line, but well kept in. And Deledio runs from half back. Left foot kick, tended towards Cracker, couldn't control a bouncing ball. Crouch, head down, Buchanan needs to do something here. Luke Abbott, oh, Cracker was superb. Feeds it back, Tuck towards half forward. Pettifer.
Oh, well done.
Couldn't take it. Good courage shown by McVeigh as Kennelly kicks it along the boundary line.
McVeigh's paid for it too, still down, in trouble.
Chesky, actually.
Simmons, Hardigan, numbers here with the Tigers, so they should be able to work it forward. Bowden now. Patrick towards half forward. Richardson again, Roberts-Thompson the fist. Richardson close to the line. Roberts-Thompson works him and the ball over. Well played. And a boundary thrown at half forward for the Tigers.
Yeah, Melchesky it was. Great courage.
Just got one in the kidneys. I think he was down for a while, but has picked himself up. Nick Malcheski. Bit of cracker magic here. Good trap for Richo. Should be a goal. And it is. He's playing a great first quarter. He's been inspirational. And he has the Tigers back in the game.
Yeah, we just see Cracker here from a stoppage. Gets it in quickly. It wasn't a special kick. Roberts-Thompson falls off. Richardson falls over. And this has been fantastic by Richardson. His work rate has been exceptional. I'd just like to see whether he can do it for the 4 quarters.
Well, he hasn't taken... There's Malcheski. He's OK. He hasn't taken a mark yet, Matthew Richardson. He's had 6 disposals. Kicked a goal.
He's had to make it happen, hasn't he?
He has. So the Tigers, despite being blown away in the early part of this quarter, have been able to regroup. They've kicked the last couple of goals to trail by just 17 points. As we count down to quarter time, Hyde, well done, taps it towards Patrick Bowden, keeps his hands free. His handball put Hyde under the pump again though. Buchanan, good pressure, a little high, free kick. And Buchanan will be penalised here. He is 50 metres.
Just starting to go the Tigers' way a little.
So Hyde can just go now. As soon as the umpire marks the mark, Tambling, just outside 50. Kick towards the goal square is poor. And Richardson there just pointing to the top of the goal square. Kick it there. There's Adam Goods. The margin in favour of the Swans, 16 points.
Not much of the quarter left. In the last 25 minutes, Richmond have kicked 4-2 to 3 goals. Their problem is they were jumped early. Now Buchanan, the miscreant a moment ago, wanting to atone for his sins. He can't do too much there other than ensure that the ball is put into Craig Bolton's hands. And now Hall. But he's had to go a long way up ground this time. And complaining that he was shoved, and you'd think he has a case. The umpire not feeling that it warranted 50. Perhaps it was pretty much on the mark. Can Sydney mount something? They don't want to risk a mistake and have it blow up in their faces. Buchanan again from Roberts-Thompson. Still time. And the old tempo team are working it. Thumping spoil for the Tigers from Jackson. Now it's out on the full, so it's still Sydney's ball and they still have time. Kennelly to Barry. But the time is ticking away. What's Leo got in mind? Are they happy just to protect their lead? It looks as though they might be. Maybe a long ball and a pack mark. That's what they need. That's what they're after. And the Tigers have numbers, but Ryan O'Keefe takes a beauty. Well, they must have known pretty much to the second, Sauce.
I'm pretty sure they would have. There was about 90 seconds to go and they were never, ever going to give up the ball. They waited for the lead. They worked it up to a position where there was probably 10, 15 seconds to go. They go long inside their forward 50, a bit like a Hail Mary, and O'Keefe takes the mark.
He plays tall. He used to kick straight, but this year, from set shots, he has 1 goal, 5. Swans are due to miss one, but they haven't missed yet. They go to quarter time with 8 straight. What a way to close out the term. 8 straight, Sydney. Richmond 4-2. It's a 22-point lead.
Well, basically, Richmond did fight that quarter out. They got themselves back in the game with a couple of quick goals, but really it's been the Sydney midfield, the likes of Kirk and Buchanan, been absolutely dominating. They've dominated the clearances.
Swans have a very handy break at quarter time.